Hi, it's Katrina. Number 10. Abu Ghurab. The Stargate at Abu Ghurab is one of the more mysterious but lesser-known archaeological sites that Egypt has to offer. And surprisingly, it's only about a 20-minute drive from the Great Pyramid of Giza. Abu Ghurab has one of the only sun temples from Egypt's Old Kingdom still standing today. It was built around 2400 BC as a place of cult worship to the god Ra, master of the sun. The sun temples of ancient Egypt were part of a building scheme likely started by Pharaoh Nayuser to boost worship of Ra, turning the god into a state deity. By erecting these magnificent sun temples along the Nile, ordinary people were encouraged to visit them and give praise to Ra. The Sun Temple was absolutely enormous, with a 60-foot pedestal at the very top that supported an unbelievably tall obelisk of 118 feet. At the very front of the obelisk was an altar open to the sun, crafted from 5 of the purest blocks of alabaster. The whole place was surrounded by giant walls, decorated with sculptures of mythological scenes involving Ra. These days, the obelisk is destroyed, and very little of the original temple remains. However, the alabaster altar is still there, practically unscathed, despite everything else being obliterated. Some believe that this altar was once used as a Stargate, especially since it was crafted in the shape of a star. It has ridiculously smooth sides that suggest advanced machining, and flawless drill holes that couldn't have possibly been created using ancient tools. There are some who suggest the entire temple was built using highly advanced machines the Egyptians never had access to. The altar, together with the ruined obelisk, may have powered some kind of star portal. I am excited to announce that this video is sponsored by Established Titles. This is an exciting project and an amazing gift idea. You can get some land, help the environment, support your favorite YouTuber, all while becoming a lord or lady in the process. What you do is buy as little as 1 square foot of dedicated land on a private estate in Edelston, Scotland. And in exchange, you will receive the official title of Lord or Lady and an official framed certificate with a crest and a tree planted in your name. Established Titles is a fun and unique way to preserve the natural woodlands of Scotland while helping global reforestation efforts. It is a project based on a historic Scottish custom where landowners are referred to as lairds or lords and ladies in English. You could change your name to add Lord or Lady and get it on your credit cards, plane tickets. The possibilities are endless. And of course, you can be sure to remind your friends and family to call you by your proper title. You can also get a gift pack for a couple that comes with adjoining plots of land. Your certificate will feature a unique plot number where you can see the exact location of your land. But here's the best part. Established Titles has let us know that the first 200 people purchasing a title pack using my link will effectively be next to my plot, within a few minutes of walking distance. We can start our real-life Origins Explained kingdom. So remember, this makes an amazing last-minute gift, or a great gift for people who have everything. Established Titles is actually running a Black Friday sale right now. Plus, if you use the code OriginsExplained, you get an additional 10% off. Go to www.establishedtitles.com/originsexplained to get your gifts now and help support the channel. Number 9. Angkor Thom Stargate. The Khmer city of Angkor Thom was the last capital of the greatest empire Cambodia has ever seen. The city was established in the 12th century AD by the famous King Jayavarman VII. And at its center is the Temple of Bayon. The city was abandoned around 1609 and has been hiding in the jungle, being reclaimed by nature ever since. Angkor Thom was completely fortified by 4 towering walls about 1 mile long each. However, the walls were originally 24 feet tall and surrounded by deep moats for extra protection. The only way into the city was through one of its gates, some of which still stand today and were monumental achievements of architecture. Each one was built at one of the 4 cardinal points, meaning north, south, east, and west. The Eastern Gate is currently in ruins, but is mysteriously known as the Death Gate. Supposedly, convicts were ushered out of the city through this gate to be executed. The Southern Gate is the most interesting because it's situated on the road between Angkor Thom and Angkor Wat, and according to some legends, it once acted as a Stargate. The gate is crowned by 3 megalithic stone faces watching all those who dare enter into the kingdom. While there is no sign of any intergalactic travelers passing through the gate these days, there is speculation that it once allowed for instantaneous travel to other unknown locations. Number 8. The Stargate of Iraq. There is a very unusual conspiracy theory which states America invaded Iraq for the sole purpose of gaining control over a Stargate. Weapons of mass destruction were supposedly a cover story to gain access to an ancient and yet highly advanced piece of technology. 5,000 years before the U.S. invasion of Iraq, the Sumerians dominated the landscape. They were one of the earliest civilizations, possibly the first truly technological culture. They built massive cities, worshipped the mysterious Anunnaki, and supposedly built stargates for their deities to travel back and forth from their home world. The Anunnaki were, in Sumerian lore, beings from outer space that came down to Earth and bestowed knowledge upon the human race. The Sumerians were some of the first people to gain knowledge of the stars from those extraterrestrial visitors, and so they worshipped them. They then shared the technology with others, and the world slowly began to develop into what it is today. This is the theory, though nobody has ever been able to prove it. One of the pieces of technology supposedly given to the Sumerians was portal technology. They were gifted the ability to create stargates, allowing them to travel vast distances in the blink of an eye. However, over time, the technology was lost, or at least the understanding of how to use it. There are people out there who believe America wants that technology and that they invaded Iraq as an excuse to dig through archaeological sites looking for the secrets of interdimensional travel. I don't know about you, but this sounds like a great plot for a movie. Number 7. The Gateway of the Sun. Tiwanaku was the mighty capital of the Tiwanaku Empire and was established around 110 AD. It was one of the highest capitals in the ancient world, standing 12,600 feet above sea level, and it boasted a huge population of an estimated 20,000 residents at its peak. The empire as a whole stretched from the coastline of Peru all the way to the northern part of Bolivia, and even swept into parts of Chile. Their most sacred site was Lake Titicaca, where the Tiwanaku believed the world and its people were born. This great civilization met its end in the year 1000 AD. Researchers believe an unprecedented drought had caused much of South America to be plunged into chaos, and the chaos caused Tiwanaku to lose their grip over the land. In this old city is a very peculiar piece of architecture called the Gateway of the Sun. It appears to be a stone portal that serves no other purpose. It's a human-sized doorway on a single chunk of wall, but there is nothing behind it. When you cross the threshold, you simply come out on the other side. Experts believe the gateway may have originally been part of a larger complex and the only doorway into a sacred religious building. Others theorize the doorway acted as a stargate, perhaps used by visitors from another planet. Number 6. Sakwala Chakraya. The ancient city of Anuradhapura is home to one of the strangest mysteries in archaeology. It's called the Stargate of Sri Lanka, an obscure carving made in the 7th century AD that appears to have no explainable function. Anuradhapura is connected to so many stories about UFOs and paranormal happenings that it's considered one of the greatest UFO hotspots in the world. Construction began on the city in 377 BC, and it quickly became the heart of Buddhist culture in Sri Lanka. The city contains great temples, the ruins of pagodas and other buildings, and a mysterious star chart. The chart or the map is called Sakwala Chakraya, which translates to English as universe cycle. The mysterious map is carved onto the face of a rock inside the ruins of the old city. It's 6 feet in diameter and has 4 seats carved from a rock directly in front of it, like a viewing area. Since these symbols on the chart have never been deciphered, it's been labeled a Stargate. Some say it had magical properties, and that the gateway could be used again if we could only figure out how to read the chart. More mainstream scientists think it was just a primitive form of calendar. However, since nobody knows, there is no definitive way of telling if this was just a calendar or a secret formula for portal travel. Number 5. The Pyramid Portals. Some people have called the pyramids of Giza giant batteries, beacons like interdimensional lighthouses, and even potential stargates. These pyramids are said to be part of an energy grid, an ancient system using the power of the planet itself to fuel wildly advanced technology. Could the pyramids really have been portals to other worlds, powered by an unknown force right under our very feet? The answer is unknown. The official consensus is that the pyramids were burial chambers, great monuments under which the ruling pharaohs were buried for all of eternity. And yet, underneath the pyramids, there is supposedly a network of tunnels going hundreds of feet into the limestone bedrock. These tunnels might have had something to do with harnessing the magnetism of the Earth and the planet's tectonic plates, then manipulating the geomagnetic field and concentrating that energy into the pyramids. This is something called fringe science, and not a single mainstream serious archaeologist will touch the theory with a 10-foot pole. Still, there are some experts like theoretical physicist Michio Kaku who are convinced the ancient Egyptians knew something we don't, or that they were at least witnesses to otherworldly technology. Number 4. The City of Karal. The ancient civilization of Karal established the sacred city of Karal in the Supe Valley of Peru 5,000 years ago. Its architecture is truly astounding and was just as technologically advanced as other thriving civilizations of the day, such as those in Mesopotamia and Egypt. This city was made entirely from stone and wood and designed in such a way to withstand even the mightiest of natural disasters. In truth, the Karal civilization was a little ahead of those in Mesopotamia, and their science and technology was unprecedented for the time. They developed agricultural techniques and irrigation networks that wouldn't be seen across the ocean for another 1,800 years or so. They created climate calendars, practiced natural medicine, and played flutes made from pelican bones. One of their greatest achievements was in the realm of pharmacology. Researcher Ruth Shady says the people of Karal used willow in their primitive medicines that contained the same chemicals as aspirin. They learned how to use these ingredients to relieve pain. However, one of the strangest parts of this World Heritage Site is a mysterious circular plaza at the end of the city that looks like it could have been used as a portal. The plaza is at the fringe of the city, which itself boasted an impressive collection of 6 monumental pyramids. It's a perfectly circular bowl indentation with a single set of stairs leading down to its completely flat bottom. It almost looks like it could have been filled with water or some shimmering ethereal energy for transporting people to faraway lands. Number 3. House of the Serpent Mouth. The archaeological site of Chicana can be found in Campeche, in Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula. Over 2,000 years after the Maya kingdom was established, ruins were discovered here in the 1960s. The site was constructed around 300 BC and reached its peak in 250 AD. From there, the ancient city in the jungle stopped progressing and was abandoned in 1100. The most famous feature of the lost city is the House of the Serpent Mouth. The building was designed to look like the open mouth of a great snake, likely the Maya serpent deity Itzamna. It's the most impressive serpent gateway anywhere in Mexico, and gives the illusion of being swallowed by a monumental snake as you walk through the threshold and into the building. Archaeologists have theorized that the building served ritual purposes. Maya priests had likely brought people through the serpent's mouth in such a way that it felt as though they were being eaten and transported into the underworld. There had almost definitely been a lot of hallucinogenic drugs involved, and so the whole ritual process would have been an extreme experience. This would have felt like walking through a portal down into the snake's belly and coming out the other side in the land of the dead. Number 2. The Gate of All Nations. The Gate of All Nations in Persepolis is one of the most mysterious gateways in the world. It was commissioned by Xerxes, ruler of the Persian Empire and son of Darius the Great. Very little remains of the gate today. Nothing more than its 2 flanking walls and the busted statues of great beasts that once watched over it. However, when it functioned over 2,000 years ago in ancient Persia, it was the main way into the city of Persepolis. The gate originally had 3 doors, which were all used to separate people entering the city based on their importance. Nobles and royalty would be moved through the south door and directed to the royal palace. Less important visitors would be pushed through the other doors and given directions to wherever they were going in the city. At its height, the gateway was decorated with 2 gigantic bulls with wings called lamises and the royal inscriptions of King Xerxes. While we can't say for sure if this thing ever functioned as a portal and allowed in otherworldly visitors, it's certainly one of the places on Earth that looks like it could have. Number 1. The Palace Gate. The lonely gate of the Palace of Adil Shah in India looks like it could come alive at any second with a shimmering silver light. The gate is an unassuming relic from the ancient past, positioned at the top of a small flight of stairs leading to nowhere. There's nothing beyond the doorway, only open air and trees. However, at one point there had been more than just empty air. In 1510, the palace of the Sultan of the Bijapur Kingdom stood here. Portuguese colonial forces defeated the Sultan, occupied his palace as they took over the land, and used it as their own residence until 1695. When an epidemic swept through the region in the 17th century, the Portuguese abandoned the place. It wound up being demolished in 1820, and nothing of the palace stands now except for the one gateway. It resembles a mystical portal that once could have taken people to other worlds. Thanks for watching! Which of these amazing ancient places do you think could have been a real Stargate? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe. See you soon. Bye!